I'm running away from the past I left behind. I'm looking for answers, but I'm blinded by the light. I'm lost in the music, can I stay here for the night? I promise I'll be gone in the morning, out of sight and out of mind. No blind, out of sight and out of mind. No standing still. It's like you're stuck in a nightmare, but you keep doing it for the thrill. Well, this is reality, you only live it once, so wake up from your dream. But just for tonight, let the lines get blurred, let your thoughts be free, let your thoughts be free.
Good evening everybody and welcome to another Elite FPL stream of myself, Stevo, and I'm just going to do this joke straight off the bat, which is going to annoy people. So whenever I go into the YouTube, there we are, there's the first right? Whenever I go into the, fucking hell. Just to explain that joke, I can't stand it when people go, after every bloody sentence. Yeah, so every time I go into the live stream section of the YouTube dashboard, it will say viewers waiting, and I just keep doing the line from extras. Hey bunny, what are you doing? Waiting. Oh yeah, waiting for what? Cock. That of course then it goes on, and then the journalist comes along. This will get us banned. Andy Millman, what are you doing here? Nothing. What are you doing sat at the queer bench? What? I'm not. What? Well, my editors asked me to come here and get a few pictures of someone acting bent, and you're the only celebrity around here, so. Oh God, we're supposed to be talking about FPL, aren't we? Nah, why bother? Just had another terrible day at work. Surprise, surprise. Slowly getting a bit bored of my job now. It's slowly very, 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 very slowly turning into what Tesco used to be like, and it's getting a bit tiresome, to be honest with you. And it's those thought processes that go through your head where you're just like, I'm slowly getting depressed. It's just grim. And as I keep saying 50 billion times till I'm blue in the face, you know, there are some aspects of my life that you want to try and be as happy as possible, but when your main aspect of your life, which is your job, your full-time job, just starting to become a misery, it just becomes a downward spiral, basically. And that's why we come here to watch this. So anyway, that on screen at the moment is Jason's team. He is absolutely doomed at the moment. He's got, well, Darwin's going to probably play about half an hour tomorrow, or whatever day he's playing, I'm guessing. He has Darwin on the bench, but in theory, Jason doesn't actually need to do anything with his team because he can play Van Dijk and Doherty. And like I said, Darwin will probably come on for Hwang. There. Luke Shaw and Maguire definitely out. Definitely. No more coming back to that, yeah. Definitely not, no. Definitely, yeah. Definitely not going to do that, no, yeah. Well, I'm just not. I just don't believe in all that. Beware of false prophets. But yeah, Hwang out. Darwin, like I said, is probably going to play 30 minutes, but Doherty against Aston Villa and Van Dijk up against Nottingham Forest. It's not an absolute devastation of injuries, but when you look at Jason's team, God, I mean, I keep saying this on Patreon podcasts. I swear we're both having a season in which who can do the worst out of the both of us. Well, at the moment, as it stands right now, it's actually technically him, because I'm catching him, whereas he's just slowly falling, thankfully. Boona put it out on X the other day. He said about, what is your targets for the season? And I just wrote, beating Jason. It's quite simple, really. Just beat Jason. Just beat Jason. That's all I want to do, beat Jason. That's it. Like Ibiza. So. Great. But yeah, and thankfully my squad isn't too bad. I've already done a transfer. I brought in Son because I found out Richarlison isn't going to be playing. And that was this morning, wasn't it? Or what was it? Someone was getting really angry at the fact that Focal put out... Oh, no. No. And I've got some bad news. I now can't access that. Oh, I can access it. Oh, good. Well, that's a bit strange. That's the first time that's ever happened live on stream. Brilliant. Yeah, so now I'm going to have to do this live, trying to get into my account. Brilliant. Yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, people getting really angry at the fact that Harry had put out a tweet about some guy that had done some research regarding the Spurs training in the gym and the fact that Richarlison's name wasn't up on the board, and Harry just quite rightly retweeted it, and basically he was getting a bit of stick for it. Fuck him. Harry, if you're watching, fuck him. I know you wouldn't have cared whatsoever, but it does suck when idiots out there take offence to the fact that, oh my god, this guy came into my Discord and stole it and made out like it was his own. Get a grip of yourself. Calm the fuck down. Seriously, get a grip of yourself, calm the fuck down, and don't worry about it. Whoop-de-doo, some guy decided to do some major investigation work into the fact that, oh, I've taken a picture of Werner doing some stretches, and look in the background over there, you can look at the wall in the back in the gym. Yeah, well done. It all came to fruition that it's true. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, just make a song and dance. It's why I'm so glad. And the only reason why I saw this, by the way, is because I saw it on the following section on X. Because on the For You section, I don't understand X. It makes no sense to me. On the For You section, you can't see anybody that you're following. Because, of course, that would be too easy. So the only way I can see posts from people that I'm following is via the For You section. So people that I do follow that I haven't muted pop up on the For You section, but they don't pop on the following section. Work that out. Work that out. My team, on paper, it looks fucking great. Apart from Flecken. Apart from him. Walker. Brilliant pick. Trippier. Gabriel. Perfectly fine. Son is my replacement for Richarlison. Foden. Palmer. Saka. Tony. Watkins. Haaland. Nothing wrong with that team at all. On the bench, it's Neto, Estupiñán and Doherty. Now, I wanted to have 2 free transfers going into game week 29, but with all this news about Solanke probably not going to be playing against Burnley, a late fitness test, they don't really need to play him. Not that's my decision whatsoever, but you could probably field this Bournemouth B team, and they're going to be beating Burnley tomorrow. Well, they may get a draw if they fielded the B team. They may get a draw tomorrow against us, but certainly I think there's no point in risking Solanke whatsoever. I did read actually on Twitter. I did read on there that no, it wasn't actually X. It was in the Metro that Bournemouth haven't won a game since December. We'll get onto our predictions in a minute. Just to let you know, Firetog and Lino, the majority of my scores are 2-1, 2-1. So I just can't. I think these games are really, really difficult to call. But yeah, if I look at Bournemouth's, if we were sponsored by WhoScored.com, I wouldn't have to see the adverts. Yeah, it doesn't look for great reading, does it, for Bournemouth's fixtures over the last several game weeks. In fact, the last time they won was in the FA Cup, and that was against Swansea, where they won 5-0. They also won in the FA Cup 3-2 against Queen Park Rangers, but in the Premier League, the last time they won was on Boxing Day, which was 3-0 against Fulham. Since then, they lose 3-1 to Tottenham. They lose 4-0 to Liverpool. They drew 1-1 with West Ham. They drew 1-1 with Nottingham Forest. They lose 3-1 with Fulham. They drew 2-2 with Newcastle. They lost 1-0 to Man City. And then they just lost in the FA Cup to Leicester. Now, you could argue that actually Bournemouth, in theory, those results you'd expect anyway, to be completely fair. The next games, Burnley, Sheffield United and Luton. They're obviously going to be targeting 9 points out of 9 in those particular games, and I would expect them to get 9 points out of 9. However, their form is not that great, and Luton are going to put up a hell of a fight. In fact, to be completely frank, my plan as it stands right this second is actually to bring in Morris instead of Solanke because of this injury. I'm probably still going to be bringing in Solanke anyway, but my backup plan, call that a plan D, is to be bringing in what's his face? Morris, as I've just mentioned. Anyway, let's just quickly say hello to the... brilliant. Kickers, DJ, Michael Swedden, Matthew Zaishi, Neomorphis, Colm, Animations, Connor and Cinnamon, the only people that are wanting to chat in here. Connor's saying, I've already used the wildcard for the blank game week and I'm in injury crisis like the majority of people, so I took a -8 on the chin. Well, you are about 10 millionth in the world. So, to be completely frank, I don't think -8 is going to do anything for you whatsoever when you're that lowly in the ranks. I mean, where are you again? What is your exact rank? Let's have a quick look. This is how bad I'm doing. I'm second in the SJP media behind Dan Griffin. Dan bloody Griffin's top of that, and Connor is way down there. Yeah, he's... wow. I mean, that's an achievement, Connor, in itself. You are 10 millionth, 46,342nd. To put in perspective, there are 10,719,559 players. You're virtually bottom of the whole game. That is an achievement, Connor. You should actually take that rank. Get Alex Volo, DM Alex Volo, and get a framed picture of that. In fact, your target, Connor, should be to try and finish bottom of the whole world. You'd become an FPL legend if you were to do that. That is horrendous. That makes me look good. That actually makes me look good, would you believe? But, yeah, so, I mean, I've already said about Game Week 28. The double Game Week is, the fixtures for Bournemouth are very, very good. There's no beating about it. In fact, the next three are very, very good. But certainly, Game Week 29, the blank one, people that are free hitting, you're fucking idiots. Who are you going to buy? Burnley v Brentford? Who gives a shit about that? What is he saying? Die Hard? Who gives a fuck about Glass? Luton v Nottingham Forest? Again, who cares? Fulham Spurs? The only assets that would interest me are Aston Villa and Spurs. I mean, they've already got 6 of their players. I've no interest in blank Game Week 29 whatsoever. And if you want to play your free hit, by all means, who are you going to bring in? Ooh, triple Brentford. What a team that are in dire form at the moment. Brilliant. Triple Spurs. Away at Fulham. Do you really think it's going to be that great a game? I don't. West Ham, Aston Villa. Bowen. Watkins. Bailey. Martinez. God's sake. Just do an Alex Volo. Just stick with what you got and move on. I mean, I've got what for that weekend? Tony, Flecken, Doherty, maybe Morris. Son, Watkins, that's 6. And do you know what? I'm happy with 6. I'm perfectly happy with that. Whereas Jason, just to look at his team for a split second, I've already done this the other day, but Jason, I think he's got 4 or 5. So Jason has Flecken, Tony, Doherty, Kaminsky, so he's got 4. Of course he has. So I've got 2 more players as it stands right now, more than Jason. 2 more. I wonder what Dale's got, actually. Oh, of course he's got Areola. Of course he fucking has. Areola, Tony, Watkins. Oh, and that's it. He's got 3. Oh dear, Dale. You got 3. Wonder how much Darren Monday's got. Areola, Watkins, 2. Wow. Looks like my plan's gone well. Planning. Jesus Christ. Who else is there? You got the double, of course. And Darren has got nobody in the double right now. Maybe Steve-O's second push for the second half of the season is going to go as I expected. How many's Dan got, just of interest? Dan for the blank game week. He has. Wait a minute. I didn't think he did. He's got Moreno, Watkins, Doherty. So he's got 3. He's got 3. How much money has he got in the bank as well? 1.9. So he can't even upgrade anybody to Son. So he couldn't even get in Son if... Oh no, I suppose... Yeah, he's got Hwang and Richarlison injured. Dan has. Oh dear, Dan. And then I may look at the best for a quick split second here. Areola. There's a common theme now. Areola. Kudos. Solanke, Watkins, Kafau. So Sai's in a good place as well. A decent spot. And got probably the better assets. Kudos as well could be an absolute steal. Kudos could be the one actually to be getting in for that blank week against Aston Villa. He could be the bloody one. If I was to look at like the YouTube chat league, who is top spot in that, which is quite tight. So Harbour Boy's top, and then Harbour Boy's now storming it, 28 points ahead of Harry, and that's Harry Dawson. He's got Watkins and Doherty, Kaminsky. He's got 3 for the blank game week. Oh, and Poro if he's fit. Harbour Boy. Oh, he's got hundreds. Leno, Taylor, Louise, doing a Patreon podcast. Has it ended? Let me know in chat. Please just let me know in chat, because I'm going to quit the stream. If that's just ended, I'm quitting. Is the stream still there? Let me know, because I'm sick to death of it. Right, fine. But yeah, it looks like within reason I'm in a decent spot for game week 29, and it is just literally going to be which one double game week player I want. And obviously, if the news comes out about Solanke, I can't not back against him. It will just be Solanke and for him. I want to go on to the Super Cup in a minute. Animations is saying he's doing his free hit. Waste your free hit then. Maestro's saying he's given up on this season. How can you give up when you're like 10,000th in the world? I was thinking either De Bruyne or Saka for this game week. Colm is saying, but hearing Luton's full centre halves are all out injured has made me think Watkins might be a good choice. A good choice for what exactly? What do you mean? What specifically do you mean by that? That's the question I'd like to know. That's what I bloody want to know. But yeah, with the Super Cup, so as it stands right this second, we have played 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 20. We played 7 matches. I believe I can't remember anymore. Group A, Matty Winalot is top, 21 points, followed by Lino and Dan, who are both on 15. Lino, of course, storming up the fucking ranks. Oh, it's qualifier time now. It's qualifier time, so there are players that have actually now qualified. So Max Roberts has now qualified from Group B. So then it's down to Rodrigo, Madeline Tudor and Colm. Funny enough to see who gets into there. Group C, What No Graphics, who doesn't exist anymore. Firetog, our joint top on 18 points, followed by Danish Doughboy, who doesn't exist anymore, and Andy Chats FPL, who doesn't exist anymore. They are all in with the running still for Group C. We then have Karma Baby, who does exist in the Discord anyway. He is on 18 points, followed by FPL Leo on 15. A very tight group there. Star Wars Dan, no idea who that is, doesn't exist then, and Chef Ramsey, who doesn't exist either. So those two there, along with the other one, FPL Leo, again, who I have no idea, still live. Let me know. Let me know in 3, 2, 1, 0. Anybody going to chat? No. Right. Does anybody actually chat in Elite FPL chats anymore? Is that actually a thing, or is it just like, nah, I can't be bothered? Right, yeah, so FPL Bailey, Dread on 16 points, followed by Mad Titan. Group F, we've got Notorious, who's actually now qualified, but Notorious doesn't even exist anymore. Followed by Abdul, Devon Star, and Nuclear Atoms. Never ever seen Nuclear Atoms anymore in the streams. I wonder where he is. So, another one. Those 3 there are still fighting for that top spot. Well, second spot anyway to qualify. Group G, French FPL, who definitely does exist, but then it's Brendan Saunders, Sultan Said, Simic, and Jason, of course, all on 12 points, and of those people I never see Simic, Sultan Saeed or Brendan Saunders anymore. So more people that have just abandoned the Elite FPL. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's great. It's fucking fantastic. Group I, Emil Smith Joe, who, is in Discord. 17 points, followed by PM, Bilal and Kazali. Very, very, very tight group there. I don't know if Kazali can still get in. I think he might just. We'll go through the matchups. I think it's the final. It must be the final matchups. Group J, KDB 17, who again I don't see ever anymore. He's just absolutely destroyed that particular group, followed by John Harris, Gabriel DeRop and Jones Bloke. I'm miraculously top spot of Group K on 16 points, followed by Cool K, no idea who that is, Denver, Abu Dhabi and Shakamaka Leka all on 12. Fade Raza, again, another one who stormed the Group L group, is then Foremic FC, followed by PK7 and Peter Scullion, but hopefully PK7 can take over Foremic FC because I have no idea who that is. We then have someone called Plastavov, who is ahead of Adulis and Christian Walsh and Nick Hilton in Group M. M for Mother. Sai, the best, has officially won Group N. That is an absolute annihilation. JR is the closest, along with Buffy on 12 points. JR, another one that doesn't exist. Yeah, so JR and Buffy, the only real two contenders for the second spot. And then onto Group O, we got Ayush, I've just seen just now. He's top spot with Callum, Danny and Scotty D up his, trying to get second spot. And then, of course, Harbour Boy, who's annihilated in the 9 matches he's played. He's won every single one, 24 points. Followed by Paulie, Zvonka and Crypto. Crypto, again, another player who I have no idea who they are anymore, because they don't exist, as I like to say. But the matchups, once this decides to load up, which of course it won't, is it going to let me know? No, it ain't going to show me the next matchups, but either way, we'll keep you covered for that on the Sunday surgery when we get onto it. Oh, of course, you've got to go into the groups, don't you? So basically, on the final week in game week, so game week 9, so this game week 27 is the penultimate one, and then it goes into game week 28. Okay, so game week 28 is the final matches for the Super Cup. Good. Let's see what people are saying. Shagger saying apparently Solanke trained okay. He's probably. Well, he may have been in Hangouts, but no one of these people here. It's funny how when I mention these people's names, they all come along like Booner and Nuclear Atoms. It's amazing how they all come out of the bushes. They don't say hello during the thing, but when you're actually talking about them, oh, what a surprise, they're here. What a coincidence. What a weird coincidence. But yeah, let's just crack on with these score predictions, because this stream is just dying on its arse and I cannot be bothered to go through any more internet issues. It's just doing my head in. So we'll get on with game week 27. So the fixtures I'm looking forward to actually is the fact that we've got a full day of matches on Saturday. We've got 7 games and 6 of them at 3 PM. So I'm actually able to enjoy listening into Talk Sport. Well, I say enjoy, just get really, really annoyed by the fact that nothing is, like for instance, Son is going to do absolutely nothing against Crystal Palace is a prime example, and the fact that Neto will probably do something against Newcastle while Trippier does jack shit. But certainly these games, Brentford, Chelsea, Everton, West Ham, Fulham, Brighton, Newcastle, Wolves, Nottingham Forest, Liverpool, that's a big one, Spurs, Crystal Palace will keep me engaged enough. I'm assuming that Son will play up top for Spurs with Werner on the left-hand side. That's the assumption that will probably happen. Booner will be able to tell me this. Then, of course, in the evening, we've got Luton versus Aston Villa. Not that I can watch the game, but should be a very exciting match. I think that Luton-Aston Villa game should be actually very, very exciting. Really, the games are going to be more impactful on the Sunday and the Monday, of course. Is anybody actually captaining a Monday night football? Anybody captaining Saka? Anybody at all? Thinking of doing that? But yeah, Brentford versus Chelsea. I do think Brentford are going to win this. Just because Chelsea are crap. That's all it's based on, the fact that Chelsea are rubbish. I think I went 2-1. A lot of my results are 2-1. But certainly the home form for Brentford, I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's just goals, goals, goals. Scored 22, conceded 27. The last 3 fixtures, they've conceded 4 against Liverpool, conceded 3 against Man City, and conceded 2 against Nottingham Forest. But they've also scored in every match as well in those 3 matches. So they got 3 against Nottingham Forest, 1 against Man City, and 1 against Liverpool. So Brentford at home are actually not too bad. Chelsea, on the other hand, well, we know they are absolutely hopeless. And I think that with Chelsea being so poor this year, you may be wondering what I'm doing. Basically, there's just so many ads in my face. I can't escape them. Everything I click, it just goes to an ad. Chelsea, on the other hand, away from home, well, again, it's just goals. Last 4, they've only lost once. It's not a good sign. Drew 1-1 with Man City. They beat Crystal Palace 3-1. Maybe I could change my prediction here. They lost to Liverpool 4-1, but then again, who doesn't lose to Liverpool? And then they beat Luton 3-2. So actually, and the fact that Brentford are missing their skipper as well, I think I'm probably going to turn that around to a Chelsea win. I think maybe a Chelsea win, maybe. I was thinking of a 3-2 Chelsea win, actually, earlier on. We then move on to the next fixture, which is Everton versus West Ham. It's horrible. Absolutely vile. To be honest with you, it is just a disgusting fixture. Everton at home are absolutely hopeless. They don't concede many goals. They don't concede many. Scored 14, conceded 15. The last 3 games have ended as 1-1, 2-2, 0-0, 3-3. West Ham, on the other hand, the last 3 fixtures have ended in a 2-0 loss, a 3-0 loss, and a 2-2 draw. So, 0-0. Jesus Christ. Absolutely dire. Absolutely diabolical game. I can't call it. I think I went 2-1 West Ham because I hate Everton. Oh yeah, why do you hate Everton, Steve? I don't know. I just don't like them. Fulham versus Brighton. Fulham, the form team at home at the moment, beating Man United. Of course, what will happen is they're now going to lose to Brighton. Brighton, a team away from home who, again, lots and lots of goals are scored. 22 goals scored for, 25 against. They beat Sheffield United 5-0, but they also lost to Tottenham and Luton 2-1 and 4-0 respectively. And yeah, Brighton, their results are all over the shop away from home. 1-4, drawn 3, lost 6. Fulham, on the other hand, at home, they are one of the best in the league. 1-7, drawn 1, lost 5. Last 3, they've lost 1, drawn 1, and 1-1. They lost to Aston Villa 2-1. They beat Bournemouth 3-1. And they drew with Everton 0-0. I think I went 2-1 Fulham. Or 2-1 Brighton. I cannot remember, but it was definitely 2-1 to one of the teams there. On to Newcastle versus Wolves. I've just gone 1-0. 1-0 to Newcastle. It's based on absolutely... No, I didn't actually. No, I didn't. I think I went 1-1. I think 1-1. Newcastle at home this season have kind of regressed, the last 4 fixtures at home: 2-2 against Bournemouth, 4-4 against Luton, 3-2 loss against Man City, and a 3-1 loss against Nottingham Forest. Wolves away from home. Well, they are... I can't even see them. Oh, they're 8th. Scored 20, conceded 20, and they are actually unbeaten in the last 4. They beat Tottenham 2-1. They beat Chelsea 4-2. They drew with Brighton 0-0. And they beat Brentford 4-1. You know what? I think I may change my prediction to a... Oh no, they've lost Wang, haven't they? Not that makes much of a difference. Yeah, I think I went with a Newcastle win. I think I still will stick with a Newcastle win. Put your neck on the line, Steve. Nottingham Forest versus Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool to win this. I think I put 3-2-1. Nottingham Forest at home, last 3. They beat West Ham 2-0, but they lost 3-2 to Newcastle, and they lost 2-1 to Arsenal. They do score goals at home, whereas Liverpool away from home, yeah, they're just freaks. They're just absolute freaks of nature. They beat Brentford 4-1. These are the last 6. Lost to Arsenal 3-1, which they shouldn't have done. They beat Bournemouth 4-0. They beat Burnley 2-0. There's a theme here. 2-1 against Crystal Palace they won, and they beat Sheffield United 2-0. So there's actually quite a decent chance of Liverpool potentially keeping a clean sheet against Nottingham Forest, although I don't think that will happen. I do think that Nottingham Forest do score against Liverpool. Spurs, Crystal Palace have just gone 2-0, and that's what I'm sticking at as. Crystal Palace are absolutely hopeless. Spurs at home are always a formidable force. Luton, Aston Villa, yeah, Luton will score in this game. I think I went with, yep, you guessed it, 3-1. I went 3-1 to Aston Villa because Aston Villa away from home at the moment are just, well, they're doing very, very well. They've won their last 2, beating Fulham 2-1. And they beat Sheffield United 5-0. They did draw with Everton 0-0, but that's not the kind of game that they want. I think that Luton will be exposed against Aston Villa, and I expect them to do pretty well against them, to be honest with you. I can't see Luton getting anything out of that game. Even though, what did it end last time? 1-1 or something? Moving on to the Sunday fixtures, Burnley, Bournemouth. God. Well, we ain't winning this. And I'm expecting Bournemouth. If Solanke was playing, I would think 3 or 4-1. But I've gone with Bournemouth to win 2-1. Man City versus Man United. Pick a number out of a hat, and it will be 0. Man United aren't scoring in this game. Just cannot see it. So yeah, I think Man City. I think I put 2-0. And then Sheffield United versus Arsenal, I put 3-1 to Arsenal because they're just on devastating form at the moment. And to be completely frank, I don't think Sheffield United got anything about them to put up any fight whatsoever. It's just embarrassing. PK7, I was talking about you. Again, another one. Talking about you. Scruffy win a lot. Oh, Matty, whatever your bloody name is. Leno or Areola? Leno. Just play Leno. Oh no, West Ham, Everton. Yeah, I would definitely play Leno against Brighton, mainly for the save tiers. To be honest with you, Connor, we don't do 3 p.m. kickoffs anymore. You've been with the show about 3 years, and this is we can't do them anymore. I'm unavailable and Jason's unavailable, so that's why we do the Saturday night reaction. It's perfectly simple. I'm always saying there always seems to be a lot more predictions of 2-1 than actual results each week. Yeah, because basically it's the safety scoreline, to be completely frank. Andre's saying, should I take a -4? Nope. To replace Estupinan? No. Yeah, it's the simple fact that 2-1 is just a safety result. Like for me, when I call 2-1, it's because I see it as a way in which I can see the team that I'm expecting to win, but I just don't think it will be comfortable enough. So that's why, hence with Aston Villa, for example, do with that. Nuka Atoms, you should know the answer. You do your own YouTube channel. You should know your own answer. But bench Doherty. Aston Villa are going to potentially be in a high-scoring game. And actually, isn't Alex Vollo captaining Watkins? Which doesn't mean anything. It just means that he's definitely going to return. Usually with Alex Vollo's punts, it's either a return, a simple single return, or he sometimes hits the jackpot. And 8 Nuri as an example. In fact, I might just do that as a joke. A joke. You're going to do that as a joke, are you? Look at Alex Vollo's team. Yeah, I'm going to just quickly look at Alex Vollo's last captaincies and check how they've actually done over... Well, we know that he got the 8 Nuri right. We know that for fact, that Alex got the 8 Nuri right. And I know that he always gets his captaincy at a return, but it's never... Right, so last week was 8 Nuri, which was just ludicrous. The week before that, Doku. Ha! That's right, Doku he captained in the double. Devastating. He captained Adebayo, who got him an assist in game week 24. Game week 23, captain Dunk, who got him 9 points. It's ridiculous, isn't it? In game week 22, he captained Mikalenko, who got him 6 points. Now, these aren't players that may have scored in the most points in his team, but they're just they're all returning apart from Doku, ironically. Odebear, he got an assist versus Luton. No, he didn't. Wait a minute, let me just check that for a second. Let me just check that for a second. Was that just a clean sheet? Oh, he got a clean sheet, but he should have got... Wasn't that the game where he should have got the assist? I think that was the game where he should have got the assist, so he was very unlucky with that. And then in game week 20, he went with Solanke, who got 4 points. So it's almost a 60% success rate with Alex. But Watkins this week is a pretty safe pick, to be completely frank. Yeah, that assist for Odebear was robbed. You're right, Animations. That is actually very, very true. But certainly with the YouTube chat league at the moment, with it being, well, like I say, Madeline Tudor is 40 points behind Gary or Harbour Boy. And it's just a bunch of people all bunched up from Harry Dawson, Madeline, then we got FPL Harry, Brendan Saunders, Thrusk, Flying Dutchman, Michael Svedin, Ollie Bale, John... Well, that's when it kind of gets cut off at that point. So Ollie up to FPL Harry. It's like barely anything in it. It's barely anything. It's like 20 points. But Harbour Boy being 2,000, was it 2,800th? Yeah, 2,800th in the world. It's just... Well, it's just obscene scenes, isn't it, really? It's just absolutely ludicrous. And, yeah, it's just crazy. Now they'll get battered. Nuke Rams, Man United will get absolutely annihilated if Man... It's the usual thing. It's the usual thing of if Man City decide to play, they will tear Man United a new one. In fact, if I look at the history between these two, I'm pretty sure it's quite tight. Let's have a look at the history between these two. I'm sure it's tight. Well, yeah. Well, here we are, Harbour Boy. 2-0, 4-1, 6-3, 2-1, 2-1, 3-0. And Man United have won once in the last 6. And yeah, apart from the FA Cup, where Man City won 2-1, they have beaten Man United pretty comfortably. In fact, in the last game, which was in October the 29th, when they won 3-0, the goal scorers on that day were as follows: Haaland, Foden, Haaland assist. Man United team that day: Onana in goal, Dalot, Maguire, Evans, Lindelof, Eriksen, Amrabat, Fernandes, McTominay, Rashford, Højlund. Well, now it's going to be Onana, Dalot, Evans, Martinez. Is Martinez fit? Lindelof. And then it will be whoever he plays in the middle. Fernandes, Casemiro, if he's not bloody benched. He'll probably play McTominay, actually. So it'll be McTominay, Casemiro, and then it'll be Fernandes, Garnacho, what's his face, Manu, and Rashford up top. I could just cheat and look at the what do you call it, the actual preview from whoscored.com. See how close I am actually to whoscored.com's team. See how little knowledge I have of football. And the simple answer is, once this stupid thing decides to load up, well, they're going with Onana, Dalot, Lindelof, Varane, Amrabat, Mainu, Casemiro, and Anthony, of course, Fernandes, Garnacho, and Rashford. I don't see Mason Mount there. I'm still bitter about that, by the way. Still bitter about getting Mason Mount in the guess the player. I went through every single midfielder that plays for Man United on the planet, and they gave me an injured player that hasn't played since fucking August. Arseholes. Well, it's about how you're doing in the game, Denver. If you want to go with a captain, I wouldn't be captaining Son. Don't bother captaining Son. But Watkins, I think in your case, if you want to go with a risk, it'll be Saka, then Watkins, then Haaland. But if you want to stick with safety, it's Haaland all day. If I don't captain Haaland, it will hurt my rank. Well, that's down to you, isn't it? It doesn't hurt Alex Vollo. Alex Vollo seems to rise every single bloody week. It hasn't affected him whatsoever. Just play your own way. Don't I say play your own way. I'm a hypocrite in my own right. But I'm sticking with Haaland. I'm just sticking with it because Man United is just crap. Anyway, I think that's enough said. The chat is extremely quiet tonight, so I'm just going to get out of here. So, as ever, really do appreciate you joining in. If you want to watch the miserable bastard tomorrow, you can do. Saturday evening, it'd be the 7:30. Well, basically, yeah, it'd be the 7:30 reaction show, because I'm just doing these streams basically once I get home from work. So yeah, about 7:30, I'll be going live with the Saturday night reaction, and yeah, we will see how crap the game week's been since then.